Did I feel like getting out of bed at 5:30 in the morning to go play some basketball today? Heck no. But I do it because I've built a routine and it helps me build discipline, which is the first point. In your journey, you gotta have discipline. And the thing is, discipline does not care about your feelings. Whether your goal is to gain muscle, weight loss, become more athletic, there are habits and routines that you have to maintain over a long period of time for you to get those results. And you can build discipline by starting off with the easiest thing. First thing in the morning, make your bed. When you start with something easy, you can stack it and just keep the momentum going. So now here's the thing. Fitness is not a 30 or 60-day challenge. You're going to be living on this earth for like at least 70 years. 30 days is absolutely nothing. Whatever your goal is, pick out the top 4 to 5 habits that you got to do day in, day out, no matter how you feel, because that's how you build discipline. Point number 2 is take care of your joints, because at some point during your fitness journey, you're gonna get hurt. It happens to everybody. I remember when I first started working out, I would go to the gym and try to max out every single day and then go play ball for like 2 or 3 hours. No stretching, no warm up, just balls to the wall as hard as I could. What ended up happening was I would get joint pain like crazy from my early 20s. Another thing that you should be aware of, at some point in your life in the past, you've had an injury. Maybe you hurt your shoulder when you were 10. Maybe you had a sprained ankle when you were 15. But because you're young, you ignore it. The thing about injuries is that they always come back. So when you're going to the gym, you're working out, you're training, you're getting stronger, you're losing weight. At some point though, all those injuries will come back. So you got to make sure that you're giving your joints the proper care that they need. That means a lot of mobility work, a lot of range of motion work. You got isometrics, you have slow eccentrics, where you're just moving at a very slow tempo because tendons love slow. Take care of your joints now and they'll take care of you later. The one thing I wish I can go back in time to tell my younger self before he started working out is always warm up before your workout. And your warm up doesn't have to be crazy. You can pick a couple of simple moves. You just got to make sure that you are dynamic. Stretching before your workout, meaning movement. Leave the static stretching like quad stretches for after your workout, because static stretching actually cools your body down and relaxes your muscle. You don't want to relax the muscle before you lift heavy. Trust me, you'll get hurt. And before your working set, you want to do at least 1 or 2 warm-up sets. That's usually how I build up to my working set. Today's my leg day, and something that you need to know about me is I hate leg days. I'd rather jump in a volcano head first and do the Terminator friggin' thumbs up as I sink. For my legs today, I'm starting off with power movements and then gonna move on to more strength later on. The number 1 most important thing, especially if you're starting out in fitness, is intensity. It doesn't matter what rep range you do. It doesn't matter how many days in a week you work out. If you are not putting any type of intensity in your workouts, you're not going to see a damn thing. I'm gonna keep this ridiculously simple. If you're new, you're just starting out, 8 to 12 rep range is absolutely fantastic. As you become more intermediate, as you get more advanced, you can go 6 to 12. I work in the 3 to 12. For some exercises, could go up to 15 because I do a lot of strength-based and power-based training because I got an over 45-inch vertical jump. And when you're working out for performance, there's gonna be a lot of exercises where you have to keep the reps really, really low, but intensity really, really high. That covers the rep range. Now you choose how many days you wanna work out, 3, 4, or 5. If you're just starting out, I always tell this to everybody, start off with 3 or 4 days. You don't need to work out every single day. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Start off with 3 or 4 days. Do something that you can maintain long term. If you can do, let's say, 3 days for like 3 months, then you can start thinking about adding an extra day. The best workout split is the one that works best for you and your goals. All you got to do is make sure that you're working each muscle group at least twice per week. Now that we got that out the way, when you're actually working out, Focus on form and technique first. Once you get your form and technique down, pump up the intensity. And when I say intensity, I mean you have to go to failure. And failure is not when you feel your muscles start to get sore. Failure is when you can barely move the weight. Intensity is the most important thing, because if you want your body to change, you have to give your body a reason to change. So get as strong as possible. Go as hard as you can, but also remember to recover too, because recovery is important. Rule number 5, take advantage of your newbie gains, because in the first 1 to 2 years, that's going to be the easiest time to see results. You got to look at fitness like a game, like an RPG game, right? So you're your character and you can pick one of 3 paths: lose weight, build muscle, or body recomp, as in build muscle and lose fat at the same time. Now that you have your path, you have to be as efficient as possible. In an RPG game, in the beginning, that's the easiest time to farm and get experience points and level up. Later on in the game, it's going to be hard as hell to gain 1 level up. Same thing in fitness. First 1 to 2 years, easiest. After you have a few more years under your belt, it's going to be harder to see even a little smidget of results. After you choose your character, you got to make some decisions. What build are you? What training style are you doing? Do you want to be a power builder, a power lifter? You want to go with Olympic lifting? Do you want to train like a bodybuilder? Do you want to go athletic training? Do you want to go hybrid? And once you start, go hard. Don't stop. Our bodies are really smart. They can adapt to anything. So when you're in the gym, you have to push yourself as much as possible. I mean, don't kill yourself, but you know what I mean. Just take advantage of the beginning stages, because that's when your body can most easily adapt to literally anything. Make it known, Kalbi beef is the best beef on the planet. This is my little post-workout meal. I got my beef here. I got my Tostitos chips and salsa. Your diet is 90% of the results you're gonna get. You can sweat it out in the gym. You can go hard. You can work out 7 days a week. If your diet is not on point, you're not going to see any results unless you're a genetic freak. The problem today with diet and fitness is everybody has an opinion and they make it seem like everything is going to kill you. Like, you're going to see these chips. I'm drinking some sparkling water over here and you're going to be like, oh, that's really bad for you. But the truth is that diet is really simple. You just got to automate it and systemize it. Depending on your goal, the first thing that you need to figure out is your maintenance calories. You can just Google a calorie calculator and find out what that is. You don't have to be 100% on the dot. You just gotta ballpark it. If you are trying to maintain your weight, just eat the same. It works for body recomps and muscle building as well. Eat the same, monitor changes, and adjust from there. If your goal is building muscle, you have to eat at least maintenance, even though you can build muscle in a calorie deficit. Build as much muscle as you can while you're in maintenance, and then you can increase your calories, like 100 to 200 calories. You don't have to go crazy. If your goal is weight loss, you have to eat less than you burn. That is the law. A 500 calorie deficit is a fantastic start. 500 calories seems like a lot, but it really isn't. You can knock off 500 calories just by switching to 0-calorie drinks, using less dressing and less sauce on your food. And instead of eating the whole pack of cookies, eat 1 or 2. A 500 calorie deficit is going to help you lose around 1 pound a week on average. But you have to remember, the thing about losing weight is that it's not going to be linear. You're not just going to be continuously losing weight. It's going to be like this, just up and down. Some weeks you'll go up, some weeks you go down, some weeks you're going to plateau, but as long as you're trending down, you're good. You can intuitively eat, but in the beginning, I would say you need to track your calories because it's a good skill to have. If you're going the intuitive route, there are a few guidelines that you have to maintain. Number 1 rule: prioritize your protein at least 0.8 grams per pound of body weight. Have a lot of veggies and a lot of fruit. And then you just got to monitor your carbs. If your goal is weight loss, you want to go for lower calorie, high nutrient dense foods. If your goal is muscle gain or you just want to get bigger, you need calorie dense foods. So that means adding a little bit of olive oil to your foods, eating more nuts, having a little bit more fat each meal. Keep things simple and find 4 or 5 meals that you can eat pretty much all the time. And always have around the same portions each meal, because when you eat the same things, you can systemize it. If you know what you're eating on a weekly basis, it's going to be easy to track where you fell off, where you got to cut back a little bit, where you have to adjust. Activity will make or break your results. Have you ever seen those people that can pretty much eat whatever they want and not gain a pound? It's because of their daily activity, and I'm one of those people. I think it sucks that you put in so much work in the gym, you go hard, you get sore, you can barely walk the next day, all for it to just amount to about 10% of your total daily calories. Let's say that your maintenance is 3,000 calories, your workout is going to be anywhere from 200 to 400 of that. You need to make sure that you are active outside of the gym as well, especially if your goal is weight loss. You can burn hundreds of extra calories every single week just by going for a 30-minute walk a day. Now, on the other side, if you have a naturally higher metabolism, when you are more active, you just need to make sure, especially if you're trying to gain weight, you need to make sure that you're eating more food. For example, when I was playing professional basketball overseas, I was eating anywhere from 4 to 4,500 calories every single day because we were training like 2 to 4 times a day. So I had to eat enough food to fuel my body. So if you are a hard gainer, it's because you're not eating enough. The next thing is that you need to turn off social media, because all fitness is today is there's someone that says, oh, I ate blueberries and it works with my system, so forget every other food, blueberries are the best for you. Or I did squats and squats hurts my knees, so nobody should ever squat. Instead of squatting, do lunges. Then you have the knuckleheads that are like, carbs are bad for you, vegetables are going to kill you, sparkling water is going to cause cancer. Like, shut up. It's already confusing enough. Don't copy your favorite influencers' meals, because what works for them is not going to work for you. You just got to make sure that you are picking foods that work for you, especially if you have like allergies, intolerances, or any other medical issue. Don't start doing an exercise just because you saw some influencer say, oh, this is the best exercise. You are going to gain 200% more muscle. They're just making up numbers. It's this simple. If you like cardio, do it. If you don't like it, don't. If you like squats, do squats. If you don't like them, there are alternatives. So turn it off. It's already confusing enough. Just do the simple things. Learn to keep things simple. Eat similar meals every single week. When you're in the gym, you don't need 10, 15 exercises. You can get a fantastic workout and get great results with 4 or 5. You don't need to overcomplicate it. You don't need to adjust the degree of your lateral raises by 1 degree to get 50% more gains. Like, relax. You don't need to spend 2 hours in the gym. You're not training to be the next Mr. Olympia. Like, go home. Simplify things for yourself. That way, it's going to be easier to stick to a routine. It'll also be easier to adjust things when you need to. And most importantly, don't rush the process. Stop trying to lose 20 pounds in a month. Gain 5 pounds of muscle in 2 weeks. In fact, when you're starting with your fitness journey, you need to make the decision to be in it for at least 1 to 2 years. Anything less than that, and you already failed. Because you got to think, I hate bees, like, so much. If they weren't important to the ecosystem, I would want all of them to die. You have to think about this. You have been in the shape that you've been for the last 20, 30, 40 years. You are not going to change that in 30 days. So get that thought out your mind, because you're only getting in the way of yourself. Because everybody that you see that's in shape with ripping abs and really defined muscles, they stuck to the same habits for a very long time. Because if you want to be in better shape, have bigger muscles, fit in your clothes better, have more energy, lose that belly fat, you have to focus on the habits that are going to help you become the person that can maintain that body. Because in reality, fitness is mostly mental. It's actually pretty simple.